Well, evening zombies. You emotionally screwed up and sleep deprived. Welcome to the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which will be me. It's 10:50 at night, Pacific Standard Time. It is December 7th, 2022. Winding down on a Wednesday night coming up on Thursday. And a brief hour and some odd minutes. Coming across a lot of Facebook posts concerning about the grieving. It's more and more. I'm getting buried alive by Facebook on these things. I mean, it's one thing when I like to have them every once in a while, but man, getting buried alive by these things, it's a very much of a stressful situation, especially in the holiday seasons, that people are still trying to talk about their feelings, and then other people I keep running into familiar friends and theoretical family members out there that are still trying to say, forget the past, forget looking behind you, keep looking forward, keep looking forward. Everything is forward. You have to keep looking forward, 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 forward. I hate to tell you something, but you keep forgetting about the chains of the past still dragging your ass at this point over here with the balls and chains of your fears and sorrows and pains and memories. So my question on that one, are we supposed to be forgetting about the chains of the past? Are we supposed to be forgetting about everything else that we've gone through? Remembered all those we've lost and loved? We can't feel, we can't go through our grieving emotions for it. We can't understand the ghosts that keep talking to us every so often. Saying, remember me, remember me. No, because we have to keep looking forward according to some people. We can't dwell with the pain. We can't deal with the past. We have to keep looking forward. There's going to be joy up in the forward. All I keep saying is muck and mud. I used to. I tried. You shove away the pain so long. You shove away all that grief and everything else. But it just piles up on you until one day. Then you're going to have to deal with the memories. You're going to have to deal with the pain and trauma and everything else that happens. You just can't shove it away and pretend it doesn't happen and keep laughing away. You have to understand and face the damn thing. I'm sorry. I am not a positive person. Well, most of the time I actually wasn't during that time, but I tried. But understanding that trauma happens and you still have to deal with it regardless. But even after you deal with the trauma, the question is always, then what? Well, I don't know. Give me one quick second. Dog needs tending to. Yeah, it's the holiday season. I've been trying to talk about these things and still haven't quite got the posting of the videos out there yet. But I will. Take care of the things I need to take care of, which is a dog that constantly needs attention, especially at night when I'm up. It's driving her nuts because I'm not laying down and sleeping. So therefore, she's got to stress me out tonight. But that's my dog for you. Will she be representative of the holiday spirit, being doggedly persistent of how we're supposed to deal and treat and understand this season that we're in? When at times in our youth, despite the fact that we're growing up a long time ago in different viewpoints and perspectives than what we have right now, is it harder for us to say in our later stage in life that maybe for some of us we actually have lost the meaning of the holiday season because we have put out too much emphasis on the pain and grief? And if we have to ignore all the pain and grief, then we're supposed to enjoy only the positive side. The thing is, it just doesn't equate with me. Because in order to understand life, you still have to understand pain and grief and mortification and humility and humbleness and putting yourself through that kind of emotional knots, being tied up in knots. But I'm not saying life is pain and we have to get through it. No, I'm saying life has pain that we need to get through it and understand it and move on. We just can't ignore the damn thing. How much can a human body stand regarding the pain? They say it's all in the mind. Well, maybe. Maybe. The brain has a way of trying to compensate by pumping out as much serotonins and dopamine in our systems over here for us to be calmed when we're necessary and be excited about other things and keep pumping up the adrenaline levels because we have to get through the damn pain. No matter if we've lost limbs or body parts at this point, we still have to get through because the brain must survive. What about the human heart? That's the thing I worry more about. It's not the pump. It's not the actual pump that pushes the fluid through our veins and our arteries and capillaries. No. It is the soul, if you will, that I worry more about. And I'm not going to put this into the theological and the clerical viewpoints and perspectives. No, I'm talking about our own personal point of view regarding how we look at ourselves, our inner selves. And sometimes you look at the outer selves in the mirror and you're like, ugh. I've done it too many times myself. But the thing that drives me more crazy is how I'm trying to deal and trying to cope with how much pain we got out there. It's no shame that human beings actually do have certain limits. And we try to be superhuman about our limitations because we think we're human, but we can be superhuman. It's one thing to pump up the muscles. But how do you pump up how much you can actually deal with and cope with before we actually said, I can't deal with it, I need help? And the problem is, even in the animal kingdom have the problem. Certain animals still need help, especially when they get more and more dependent upon a lot of things. My dog was trying to climb up on the couch. Give me a second here. I'm just going to keep the tape winding right now. You may see some crawlies around here. No, this isn't a Halloween gag. It's bug war today. Short distances I can walk without assistance, but longer than that, forget it. My feet want to kill me today. So, things to do. Occupations happening to keep your brain occupied. Can't think about what's happening behind you because we have to push it aside and keep moving forward. Doesn't matter the collateral damage we've already done. It doesn't matter some of the stuff we've already done and have to be held accountable, transparent, and responsible for. No. Just do your damage and keep going forward. Because that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter if you had collateral damage in your past. Oh, that's just water under the bridge. You're strong. You've gotten past all these damn things. If you notice, I'm a physical cripple, you schmuck. No. You're doing great. You're just going to be better at this point. I'm falling apart. No, you're not. Lie. You're doing wonderful at this point. Don't lie to yourself at this point. You may be walking with a cane. You might be walking with sore feet and a sore back, but you're still doing fine. What am I, frustrated, insecure, neurotic, and emotional? No, 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 doesn't mean a damn thing here. So imagine when I have some people still trying to pump up everybody else. Say, well, you have to still look at the, you still have to look at the. I'm sorry, but in some circumstances, you're trying to redirect what things are supposed to be, and yet the reality is it hasn't changed. Of course, they would try to. Sorry, I'm just messing with the damn cords. But the thing of it is what I'm dealing with right now. And they may raise up the issue concerning about the nativity scene. I mean, if you want to get into the Judeo-Christian aspect of things. I could also tell you that during those times, they still had the Roman troops to deal with, and not to mention an emperor who conquered their lands. Strong and fierce in faith is one thing, and usually it would prevail mostly. Except, of course, when you have somebody trying to take a sword and slice you and dice you and cleave you up into pieces, or sentence you to the galleys, or worse, to the lions, and let the lions have fun and feasting on you. They don't like to share power. They don't like to share anything. They like to badger, bully, and belittle people left and right because they thought they were the gods. The cat's meow. Trials, tribulations. The baby gets born in such dismal situations that the lessons of this are supposed to give us hope, start of a new faith, start of a new religion that they never saw coming. And in the life of this one guy being born into the land of hell, basically, a living hell, he has to understand what he's dealing with and why. He also has to understand everyone else has got their own baggage and burdens at this point. He wants people to realize about faith and hope and joy. But we're dealing with the reality check in front of him. The reality check is there are certain conditions out there that you still have to deal with and cope. It's easier said than done when you're going to say, rejoice because you'll see this guy again in heaven. Okay, fine, but right now you still got the human condition still built into our genetics. Now, if you're still hip and square on the Judeo-Christian politics and the history of it, two people really screwed up the human race entirely. Carried on from genetics, family to family member to everybody else down the road. Those apples are so tempting, aren't they? We can blame everything on them. They ain't changing a damn thing because we're still dealing with it. We're still coping with it. We still have to deal with our own damn inner demons, our own damn pain. And what's worse is how much love we pumped out into the people we love. It seems like in order to have this perfect love, we're not supposed to grieve. We're not supposed to be. We're supposed to look at just one side only of humanity. Screw everything else. Only the one side matters. Everything. And sometimes I just can't deal with that. Because I always know that there's a flip side. There's always the other side of the coin in dealing with humanity. You're dealing with the positive sides, but you're forgetting about all the damn waste. We see the potentials in front of us, but then we have a tendency of leaving garbage behind. And devastation for people to come up through and think they can actually go through our trash and try to expect to live off the damn thing. And the trash is what we've done to ourselves and to everybody else. The reasons why we have support groups out there to this day, still trying to teach people how to make amends, be responsible, be accountable. Which means we still have to look at our side of the street and see how much accumulation that we've done, how much harm we've done to others. If we can make amends, fine, but if we can't make amends, then we have to move on. But does this mean every time we keep coming across those lovely memes and the lovely intentions for people saying, "Don't keep looking behind"? I hate to say this, but look behind. Look behind and study the past of what has screwed up, what has transpired, what has done both sides of the coin, and understand. Because eventually, elements of it usually get repeated left and right. There'll be a new situation, but there'll be an element of the past that's going to be popping up and scaring the living crap out of us. It does it to me all the damn time. The reason why I'm studying history right now as it is to understand that I have screwed up my life like crazy. I could try reading about history of the world. I could try reading history about the United States. I could try reading history about California. But the bitch of it is to study about my own life and how much I have done both sides of the coin. And if I can't keep track of this shit, what am I doing to myself? Making myself a banana case for everybody else to follow? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. The joy of the holiday season we have right now is painful to us grievers out there. At times I keep talking about, well, keep doing the first and third persons all the time. I know I talk about myself, but I'm also talking about those who are listening and following down the road, down history that I won't be there for. They say future, I call it history. Because it'll happen. And once it happens, it's still history. And you still got to study it. You can't study the future because it hasn't been written yet to say, but it will be history enough once we get past that point. So it's still history. Unless, of course, you're going to be forgetting everything about the past and the present, and then keep looking forward to the future, then we have nothing to build upon. How do you think we get roads? We have to build them up, brick by brick, experience by experience, life per life, until finally you get a road that people travel on, that they understand. But sometimes we have to keep laying their bricks down because of our own pathway. It's the philosophy I keep learning in life all the time. See, it's not just keep looking at the horizon. Oh my God, we're still looking at the horizon. Well, guess where our feet are at? We're still stuck in the mud right now. And we still have to keep pushing that shit away from us as we keep trudging, as we keep pushing the muck and mud around us. We're still having to deal with our own baggage because it's still dragging us behind. But keep this in mind. Why do we keep lifting up weights? Serious question. Why do we do weights? We want to build up strength. We want to build up character. We want to build up ourselves. So think of it this way. The weights that are dragging us down a little bit, we still have to drag along because they'll help us out with the endurance one way or another. Either we're going to get buried alive or we're going to learn to compensate and deal and grow with it. Which means we still have to learn. We still have to understand why we got the weights in the first place. We just can't keep going forward and realizing that every time we keep pushing someone down, we're just still going forward because we've been told to do so with our own stupidity in mind. I said stupidity, didn't I? Because sometimes we are stupid. We're listening to somebody else's Tweety Bird stuff. I deal with reality these days. I used to have my head in the cloud all the damn times until reality kept smacking me upside the face left and right, that I have to deal with it. I have to deal with the baggage. I have to deal with the collateral damage. I still have to deal with the pain and the grieving and loss because of people I lost in my lifetime. And realize this, that they matter to damn to me. How long does the grieving process go? I don't know. I know a long time ago I had to ignore everything and just keep pushing forward. They call that strength and character. No, I'll call it ignoring your shit. And how much of it just keeps accumulating until it starts giving you more character defects than what you realize at this point. People keep realizing that. They don't want to understand it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to cope with it. It's not for them to deal with or understand. So for me, I have to function with what I've got. I got to deal with what I've got. In a few hours, I'm supposed to get up again and do something I should have done a long time ago. But I hadn't. I made a decision not to. Postpone it like crazy. Simply put, I hate dealing with the decision. I hate dealing with that choice. Even though it may matter to me a great deal and may tell me if I'm going to be living or dying. But at this point, ignorance is not bliss. But I never did like blood draws in the first place. I never did like needle sticks. The decision of postponing it until whenever. But then again, after I postpone it, I'm probably on a countdown during that time. Whether or not the things can be reversed or can't be reversed because I spent too much time not dealing with it. I built things up so much. I built a history that may be detrimental to me. So I have to deal with the collateral damage I just did to myself. And have to leave my pearl of wisdoms out there in video and in audio. So hopefully some other poor schmuck will listen to it and understand what the hell happened to me. Now, whatever happens to that person, I don't know. I don't know. This morning I was angry. An anniversary of today was December 7th, 1941. A date that was living in infamy but being forgotten by generations. As the older generations who fought the greatest war, they did all the work and they suffered a great deal. We reaped the benefits, but we forgot the lessons. History. We can put things in the history books. We can try understanding the stories that we hear from our grandparents, our great-grandparents, of what they went through, both civilians and military. And we can hear the survivors talk about their experiences of what they've gone through, the hell that they endured. And again, we look at it and we try to understand it, but we don't have the context. We've lost it. As the older generations lose out, we lose out more and more because the history is gone. And now we don't have the context anymore. It's like understanding the context of the Revolutionary War. The only thing we have left of what they have left behind, the notes, the documentations, descriptions, and that's about it. No videos back then, no cameras, no photographs of the Revolutionary War. Civil War, they started doing photography, but they reenacted battles to get shots going or artist conceptions of what happened. And a lot of letters we've gotten from soldiers and family members. So we would have somewhat of an intimate picture. Then World War I. Technology increases. World War II. More technology capturing it. To this date, we have digital. We can capture history in a second. We can capture it, document it, pass it around. Feel happy with ourselves. How does that affect us with our own personal histories? We have our own photographs, we have our own newsreels, we have our own audio recordings. Back then, if we call it back then, whenever when was, how technology captured it. And did it? Did we have enough to capture what life was like? Did we have any audio recordings to capture life was like? Did it actually happen? Because without documentation, we don't know what happened. We just hear from hearsay. So therefore, history is not relevant, is it? The past is not relevant. But it is. It's what's made us today. We have given, we have been given, we have built upon foundations for whatever our lives are trying to go into. History matters. Now, I'm talking about this, and this is the diary of the griever named John Weaver. So you guys are clearly not understanding this unless you're a griever already and you understand that your personal history is putting you into this stand of headlock here. What is he trying to say? That your own personal history, your own personal pain that you're experiencing, including mine, has a direct bearing of what we're having right now done to us. We get triggered. We get triggered by memories. We get triggered by things, by events, by something or someone. And then we mourn, we grieve, we go nuts. And people wonder, what's hap? How come he's not happy anymore? Why are these people turning into miserable, sorry sons of bitches at this point over here? Why can't they just ignore everything and just keep focusing on being happy? And I keep telling you people, we are human beings that are fallible, breakable. Despite all the hoopla that we get with our spiritual texts that try to give us the moral strength necessary to continue on, there are limitations that we still have to understand. Once we understand what those limitations are, then it's going to be up to our decision whether or not we get past it or not. Are they going to help build more foundations, or is it going to be tearing our asses apart because we haven't reconciled anything? We haven't reconciled with what this would mean to us because we still are not learning from what's going on, of what has happened to us. And that's what pisses me off. The reasons why people have to talk about their grieving, about their process to other people about it, because they want to make sure that they're trying to pass on what's going on this morning. They want to understand why. Of course, we read other books and other people's opinions at this point over here, and they help us out a great deal. Some of them are actually making profit off the damn shit. Me, on the other hand, I'm not making a profit, not a damn one penny. I'm trying to understand me. In order to understand me, I got to talk about it in the form of you. It's one thing when my friends and family, if I have any, try to hide because it's painful. And here I am talking about the pain of trying to get through this damn shit. Why don't I shut up about it? Because it's not your pain to get through, it's my pain to get through. And therefore I must talk about it. But if you don't like it, then I know you got a problem with your own damn pain at this point. Because if you can't relate, you're doing the same damn shit I did a long time ago. Hide, 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 hide. There's only so much you can hide. There's only so much you can deal with and endure before it starts breaking you. And then you're afraid of being broken because then you feel like you're not functioning anymore. Nope. That's not it. I'm not doing this to gather followers. I'm not doing this to gather and be a guru about things. I am not a guru. I tried to explain about this one in my earlier videos that I'm not a guru of anything. I'm not a doctor in anything. I'm not a spiritual leader. I'm only talking about my own damn shit I'm going through at this point. I'm going through my own self-deprivation and self-destruction. But I'm also trying to understand what the hell's going on, why I got to this point. And then the decisions have to be made. What do I do beyond this? Yes, I can't change the past. I can learn from it. if I so choose to. And the decisions I made in the past are leading me up to the point I am right now, here and now. And if people don't want to understand it, that's on them. Mine, I have to deal with. I have to record this. I have to put this down. And eventually, someone else may pick up where I left off. Somebody else may pull up the videos, pull up the audios I've got. Maybe one of these here days I'll be pumping in a lot of podcasts if I so choose to. Maybe or maybe not. But if there would be a podcast, they'll be understanding a completely different viewpoint that they're looking at me at. Who the hell was I? I can say 2 words, human being. Don't understand that, you don't understand yourself. If you are human, and you are looking at this damn thing, and you're wondering, what the hell is this madman doing? Talking at himself, and picking on his scabs and everything else. Everything else is deteriorating on me, left and right. Being morbidly fascinating about my own skin deteriorating one way or another. Noticing that the older I get, the worse I reek and smell. It's the same thing like the old folks I came across. They know it. They're just like, we'll take a shower next week. I took mine this morning and it was lovely. It was wonderful. I needed it. Wash out the hair, which I still need to get a proper haircut or just shave on the damn head. And I need to go out. Go out of the cage. Go out there. Take care of myself. Because this is what I need to. This is my job. Take care of me. I'm not taking care of you. I'm taking care of me. And if I can take care of me, then I don't have to worry about you. I'm taking care of what I have to take care of. And if nobody's there to understand it, I'm not stressing over it. What I am stressing over is what I have to do right now as it is. Maybe others don't like it, don't understand it. That's on them, not me. I'm functioning on me. Don't like it? I'm not going to tell you what the hell you're going to do. I'm doing what I'm doing. And with that, I'm going back to bed.